Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our webinar today, Intuitive Creation with ARRI and GDTF. My name is Claire Manley, and I'm the Marketing Specialist for GDTF and MVR. Before we get started today, I just have a couple quick housekeeping items. First, I wanted to mention that this webinar is being recorded, and the on-demand version can be found on the GDTF YouTube page, along with all past manufacturer webinars. Also, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please feel free to ask them in the questions box, which is located right in your control panel. And we'll save some time at the end for live Q&A to get through as many questions as possible. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our two guest presenters for today, Patrick Schulze, Lighting Systems Engineer at ARRI, and Markus Klüsener, Senior Product Manager at ARRI. So let's go ahead and get started.
Thank you for the warm welcome and the nice introduction. And hello to all of you. Whilst ARRI, of course, has a very long history in professional lighting, intelligent lighting with sophisticated control of multiple parameters is still rather new to us. But already during the development of a sky panel or L-series luminaires, it became quite evident that the level of control detail our products require is often challenging the common ways of DMX implementation and control methods. We're not living in the day and age of setups with 0 to 10 volt slider controllers, demultiplexers, or analog dimmers any longer. And even though a sky panel and orbiter does at first look not seem to be quite as complex as a fully featured moving head, there is certain parameters such as sophisticated color control, gel library picker, and such that are rather complex and not easy to integrate into the rigid and unflexible control protocol of DMX 512 that is still the standard means of controlling our products. In the end, a light is only perceived as good as it can be used or controlled. And not having standard ways of DMX library or fixture patch implementation into the control side of a setups has become more and more of a headache, the more complex fixtures have become over the years. Even an only slightly wrong programmed DMX library can end up making a product unusable. This has very often ended in desperate support calls to us and other manufacturers' support divisions, which only ended up in finding out that the DMX profile in the console was done wrongly. When the guys from MA Lighting approached us with the idea about GDTF, there was no hesitation or the slightest doubt that ARRI would be on board from the very beginning. And just recently, we have released a comprehensive package of officially manufacturer-made, tested, and approved GDTF files for our entire LED product line of luminaires. With the use of GDTF fixture profiles, the user is guaranteed best possible and quickest workflow during setup and programming, and also most accurate and reliable performance of the product as intended by us. My colleague Patrick Schulze will now guide you through some specific examples to show what GDTF means for ARRI luminaires. Take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Markus, and thanks to all of you for joining us. My name is Patrick Schulze. I am a lighting systems engineer for ARRI based in Burbank, California. A couple of years ago, I was tasked with developing the GDTF profiles for our line of LED fixtures. Today, we're going to discuss the reasons why we chose to support GDTF and how its implementation helps ARRI work with content creators in realizing their vision. What was appealing to us was the fact that GDTF allows manufacturers to build fixture profiles that support their intended use and levels of functionality. Relying on database services or console manufacturers to develop profiles can lead to errors. This is due in part to them lacking knowledge of a particular fixture, as well as the sheer number of fixtures on the market today. GDTF allows for default parameters, as well as parameter-specific presets or slots to be built into the profile, including descriptive labels. This speeds up and makes more intuitive the programmer's workflow. All fixture modes are built into one GDTF file. This makes it easy to change the mode of a fixture without having to download and/or install another fixture file. Multi-level mode mastering allows for a smoother workflow by allowing channel functions to be more easily determined. While 2 layers are commonly used in most consoles, GDTF expands this feature to 3 or more levels. ARRI requires multi-level mode mastering on our gel, effects, and ultimate modes for smoother operation. GDTF profiles are available for ARRI's entire LED family. Okay, let's dive into incorporating default values into fixture profiles. One of the first things we did was to set a default correlated color temperature across our entire fixture line. Our fixtures have different ranges of CCT. The L series and the Sky panel have a range from 2800 degrees Kelvin up to 10,000 degrees Kelvin. Orbiter has a range from 2000 degrees Kelvin to 20,000 degrees. Notice that some common color temperature presets are built into the profile. You can also type in a specific color temperature and the console will do the math, as opposed to having to use a conversion table and manually entering in the DMX values. We decided to build the profile of our entire line of LED fixtures to have a default of 3200K. This was done not only so ARRI fixtures would match one another when intensity is originally brought up, they will also match common tungsten fixtures. We consulted several users within the industry before determining the choice of this default color temperature. Let's talk about the concept of multiple layers of mode masters, also known as mode-dependent channels. What this means is the level set in channel A determines the purpose of channel B, which in turn determines the purpose of channel C. Channel sets, presets, or slots could not be individually described past channel B. Using gel mode as an example, there are 3 parameters necessary to determine the final gel selection. The Sky panel and Orbiter have more than 300 gels built in from the Roscoe and Lee families, with more to come. The first channel to be controlled is the brand or gel manufacturer. As you see here, when you open the manufacturer brand channel, you have the option of choosing Roscoe or Lee. Once you've made that selection, you move on to the category channel, whose slots will be populated by the manufacturer's gel families. Once you select a category, the gel channel will be populated with the corresponding gels. Here is a look at the DMX table for the gel modes of the ARRI Orbiter. As you see, the gel brand has 2 slots, one for Roscoe and one for Lee. Once the brand is chosen, you move on to the gel category. The categories to be chosen are determined by the brand chosen. You see 5 ranges, but the associated categories are dependent on the brand chosen. Once you've chosen the gel category, the gel channel will control selection of the individual gels within that category. Without multiple layers of mode mastering, working your way into the proper gel required some work. First, you'd select the manufacturer, and as you see here, your choice is still Roscoe or Lee. After choosing the manufacturer, you're happy to see that the category channel is populated as well. Let's select Roscoe Color Correction. And as you see, the gel slots are populated and labeled. Touching one of these tiles will bring that color correction into the fixture. Let's try another. How about Roscoe Cinelux? The slots are still labeled as Roscoe Color Correction. Let's try Lee. Okay, Lee Color Correction. And there's the Lee Color Correction gels. Any luck with color filters? Nope. Still showing the color correction tiles. So you need to note that the color selection tiles on the screen, while labeled as Lee Color Correction, will still select the gel associated with the chosen category, because that work is done inside the fixture. We have hit the limits of most consoles' ability to populate a 3rd layer of mode-dependent channels. That's why you still see the color correction tabs in here. So at this point, you'd really have no choice but to dig out those pages from the manual and manually enter the level of the specific gel of your choice. GDTF solves that problem. On the MA3, one of the developers of GDTF, we have the orbiter set in gel mode. Once again, we see the gel manufacturers, Roscoe and Lee. Let's again choose Roscoe, and then we move on to the gel category. Select Roscoe color correction, and move on to gel selection. And of course, the gels are populated. Let's try Cal Color. And the gel, you see the proper ones displayed. Let's check out Roscoe Storaro. And there they are. Roscoe Cinelux, there as well. Moving on to Lee, we see categories available for the Lee library. Let's select Lee color correction. And we see the gel selection populated with Lee color correction. Select Lee color filters, and you see the Lee color filters. Select Lee 600 series, there they are, as well as Lee Cosmetic, right there. And finally, when you select the Lee 700 series, you see the 700 series. Another nice feature of the multiple layers of mode mastering is that you can bypass the process of first selecting brand and category channels. If you open the Gel Channels window, you will notice all of the categories are populated on tabs across the top. Select the Category tab, and the window will populate with the corresponding gel. This makes using gel mode a breeze. I should point out that this shortcut works on the MA3 console. It may or may not work on other consoles. Multiple layers of mode mastering is also required when using the ultimate mode of the ARRI Orbiter and Sky panel, where we allow access to all of the features through one fixture mode. Each color mode chosen will populate the encoders with the associated functionality. As we see here, selecting mode will allow you 7 different ways to control the fixture. If I choose CCT and tint, you see the CCT channels and the tint channels. If HSI mode is chosen, the encoders populate with the proper parameters and channel sets. Using effects in Ultimate mode also requires multiple layers of mode mastering. As you see in this table, effects use different channels to control the different parameters of a chosen effect. The first layer is choosing the effects portion of Ultimate mode. The next layer is choosing the effect you wish. The third layer will populate the encoders with the parameters specified by the effect. Mode dependency becomes even more important when selecting gel control in Ultimate mode, because now we're adding yet another layer of mode dependency. Selecting gel mode is layer 1, gel brand is number 2, gel category is number 3, and the actual gel selection is number 4. As I mentioned earlier, an added convenience of GDTF is that all fixture modes are located within the same GDTF file. You select and import the fixture type, and you see it includes all possible modes. When you add the fixture to your show, you simply select the mode you wish. It also allows you to go into Patch and quickly change the mode. Other formats often require a different file or navigation steps, such as manufacturer, then your fixture type, and then your mode, and you bring that into your show as a file. So basically you're replacing the entire fixture anytime you want to change the mode. With the advent of mixed reality studios, GDTF is being incorporated into systems like the Unreal Engine. Our early support of GDTF is already paying dividends. Our fixtures are being used quite often in mixed reality volumes worldwide. We would like you to know that the GDTF profiles for ARRI's complete line of LED fixtures are available on the GDTF Share website, or in the Orbiter section of the ARRI website, www.arri.com.